Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
All right, Steve, whenever you're ready, Roy's on.
All right, Roy Nelson, it's good to talk to you again. How are you feeling today, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent, and you've got a great fight coming up here, a rematch with Matt Mitrione, a fight that many of us thought we'd see when you signed with Bellator. So how are you feeling about facing him a second time?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's one step closer to the championship belt, and that's all I need to know.
It's the Heavyweight Grand Prix. It's the second bracket we get to see of that big tournament, but you've already got a win over him, so not only do you need this to advance in the tournament, you need it to remind everybody that, hey, you've got his number.
Yeah, no, it's something that, Matt's definitely improved, but so have I, so it's one of those things. The old man's going to win.
You say Matt's improved. What do you think, watching his fights, that he's gotten best at since not only the last time you two fought, but the last time you two were teammates on The Ultimate Fighter?
He's definitely improved by having more fights. He knocks people out. I think he's more athletic now because I think he understands the game a little bit better. But overall, he's just, I think he's a better fighter than, 5 years ago.
One of the things he said when I talked to him the other day was that he learned more from that loss against you than he could in any of his wins that he's gotten, and that he made a few mistakes that he feels you capitalized on in a big way. Would you characterize the first fight that way too?
Did he tell you what his mistakes were?
He didn't specifically say what the mistakes were, no.
I think it was signing the contract.
Ooh. Okay. Well, he actually said that was a big benefit, not a deficit, because he felt that losing to Phil DeFries at that time would have hurt him more, but losing to you, he could have said, well, hey, I just got beat by one of the best in the world.
If you want to look at losses like that, that's cool.
That's how he characterized it anyway, and he also said, hey, if I had beaten Roy at the time, I could have just said I was off for 14 months, and then I beat Big Country.
Or that he was training for a fight, and then he got a phone call, and then he's like, oh, this is short notice, but it's been 6 weeks. That's not short notice.
No, it's really not. But the way they film TV, they make things seem different than they really are, which you know all about.
Yeah, so it's one of, I think it's going to be a fun fight, next week, and you'll see the way I look at it is he thinks he's fighting for the heavyweight title. I think I'm fighting for the heavyweight title, and then the week after, then my next fight will be fighting for the light heavyweight title. So I'll be the heavyweight champion and the light heavyweight champion for Bellator.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it when you consider the mix of athletes that we've got. So are you surprised that there are so many light heavyweights in this heavyweight tournament?
Not really, because there's only, what, 3? Technically, you got Ryan who cuts. I think Chael and Mo are probably the only real ones that don't really cut to 205. They kind of walk around there,
Well,
but anytime you walk around at 230 and...
But with
with
Rampage, at least, he used to cut to light heavyweight, although those days are long since behind him.
Yeah, no, he has his thyroid or testosterone or whatever. Who knows what he has.
I think he just likes to eat. That's my opinion.
I like to eat too, but I'm not fighting super heavy.
No, that's true. You stay in good shape and you have great performances, and you had a really good one against Javi Ayala the last time out. Are you satisfied with the way that fight went?
Yeah, no, I think it was good. I was working on some stuff and kind of get that full circle again and go back to the wrestling game and putting some punches together and of course I want to knock people out, but I know Bellator needed some fight footage because UFC doesn't give it out, so I had to give him at least 15 minutes.
You gave Matt some too, so he had more to look at now from that fight than he did when he fought you the first time. And I think he was studying it as well, because one of the things he said to me is that you use your wrestling a lot more now than you did back when the two of you fought before.
That's because I didn't need it.
It's true. When you knock people out, you don't need to wrestle.
Yeah, no, if someone's the difference is if someone's willing to punch with you, I'm willing to punch with them back. And I think in my last fight with Matt kept on throwing and wanted to punch me, and I was game for that. Hopefully he'll want to punch with me some more, and he won't try to run.
That may be his strategy, actually, because he said the best way to fight Roy Nelson is long and at range, because if you stand in a phone booth with him, you're giving him exactly what he wants.
Yeah, that's why I come to fight.
How's the camp been for this fight? How's the preparation been to face Matt again?
You know what? It's actually been a pretty rough camp. It's probably one of my shittier ones, but, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to see my hand raised on Friday, February 16th.
What's contributed to that? Has it just been little nagging injuries, or just difficulty in getting good sparring partners, or what has it been?
No, I think the biggest thing has just been, you know, it was flu season. And yeah, also, you know, I'm old, so just getting them out of bed just sucks. You know, all that good stuff.
I wouldn't say you're necessarily old when it comes to the heavyweight fighters, because it seems like the cream of the crop at heavyweights tend to be 35 and up.
True. I'm just saying, I'm the oldest guy in there, but, you know, so, you know, when you wake up and it's cold outside, you know, I can tell you when the weather's going to change.
I think we all feel it in our bones at this age, because I'm over 40 myself, so. And it's freaking cold in Nebraska, let me tell you. I'm sure it's a little warmer out in Las Vegas.
That is true.
With this fight, are you saying you had the flu before the fight, or just general ache and cold?
No, just like for like 2 weeks, couldn't, you know, get out of bed, you know, where, you know, that virus that's going around killing people. So I didn't want to, you know, make sure I didn't kill my partners and, you know, that good stuff. It's just one of those nagging injuries. You know, it's just one of those camps where it just sucks. But I just know at the end of the day that I'm going to beat Matt, so that's all that matters.
Well, since you know you're going to beat Matt, when you look ahead to the next round of the tournament, who would you rather face?
Who would I rather face? That one's a catch-22 because, you know, I want Mo to win, but I'd rather fight Ryan. But at the end of the day, it's a step, you know, closer to the belt. And, you know, I am a heavyweight, and those are 205ers, so they need to go back down to 205. And that's about it. I mean, I really don't care because the way I look at it is I got 3 steps. And right now, even with the cold, being injured, whatever, I'm going to pull myself, drag myself up the mountain and go one step at a time.
Of the two, as you've already mentioned, they're both 205ers and probably going back down to that. But who do you think is the better wrestler? Is it the champ Bader or is it King Mo, who's been out wrestling everybody?
I think Mo's the better fighter, for sure. I think Mo should beat Ryan. So technically, he'll be the next light heavyweight champ, and then if I have to fight Mo, then I'll be the next light heavyweight champ.
Right on. So hopefully that'll be what we see coming up here in the tournament. And as far as other things that Matt Mitrione mentioned to me about this rematch, he said that one of your greatest assets is, just to put it the way he put it, your stubbornness. You just won't quit in a fight. Even if you take a beating, you know you can knock anybody out with one punch.
Yeah, no, that's part about being a fighter is you just fight until someone tells you can't fight no more.
And I think you've proven that many times over the years, because we've seen you go the distance with some of the greatest heavyweights, and you're in that category as well. But guys like Stipe Miocic, the current UFC champion, he couldn't finish you.
Yeah, that's because I had a week of training for that fight.
You only had 1 week for that
fight? I had a whole camp. That's it, 1 week.
That's just amazing for me to think about, because that fight was so good, and it was only 1 week camp. That honestly, that just blows my mind. I'm a little speechless.
Yep, that's why I was asked for rematches, and this is my actually very first rematch, but it's me giving it to Matt, because every time anybody's ever fought me or beat me, never wanted another rematch with me again.
Do you think then that Matt has more to gain here than you? I know you both get to advance in the tournament with a win, but does it mean more for Matt to try to get that win back?
Probably for Matt. For myself, I'm just looking at one step. I think it's a twofer for him, but for me, it's just one step closer to the belt.
So how much does having a heavyweight title mean to you? You've been a champion before, way back in the IFL days, but do belts matter to you at this point in your career?
Yeah, no, it's definitely something you want to bookcase, with your career. I mean, I was a World Grand Prix champ for the IFL, then I was the heavyweight champ for the IFL, and then Now I can be World Grand Prix champ, Bellator. Then I can be the heavyweight champ and the light heavyweight champ. So I can have 3 belts.
You will have a full trophy case if it all comes to fruition. So any little things that you've done just to get ready for that? You know, you build a new bookcase or anything?
No, just painted the walls, and I've cleared out some space so we can hang some more belts.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. Hopefully they'll get them shined up and looking real nice for you. But before that happens, let's get out some plugs and some sponsors and get everything good to go for Bellator 194.
I appreciate that. Just make sure all the fans go to RoyNelson.com. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Roy Nelson MMA. And, of course, my sponsors, I want to say thanks to Monster Energy, Ricos.com, and Soba Recovery Centers. And, of course, Copper Joe with Mike Tyson.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy. I appreciate the time. Bellator 194, February 16th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville. Don't miss it. Big rematch, main event, Roy Nelson and Matt Mitrione. Thank you for the time.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you, Dan, as well.